Welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving straight into a really groundbreaking, highly structured regional program out of Circondaria, planned for 2026 to 2030. This whole initiative is specifically designed to identify and eliminate modern social risks facing school-aged kids, the 7 to 17-year-old demographic. We're going to unpack the core directions of the program, the exact problems broken down by age group, and the actionable solutions they're rolling out.
So what are the hidden social risks actually facing our children today? I mean, we really have to ask ourselves what unseen dangers they're navigating in this incredibly digital, fast-paced world. Is it just too much screen time? Or, is there a much deeper psychological impact going on right under our noses?
To figure that out, we're breaking down this 5-year roadmap. We'll quickly hit the program concept, age-specific risks, the digital and family impact, their monitoring system, actionable solutions, and finally, the expected results.
Okay, starting right off with Section 1, the program concept.
What we're seeing here is a massive paradigm shift. In the past, the old approach was super reactive, right? It was all about dealing with the consequences and just punishing bad behavior after it already happened. But this new program, it's strictly preventative. It's all about identifying root causes, like a kid's family environment or their digital habits, and neutralizing those threats long before they turn into real-world problems.
Moving on to Section 2, age-specific risks. It's pretty fascinating to see how these risks evolve as kids grow up. Looking at the 7 to 11 age group, the issues are mostly about early screen fascination, school adaptation, and losing the habit of reading. But then hit 12 to 15, and you get teenage rebellion, intense digital addiction, and emotional instability. And by 16 to 17, the threats shift completely. Suddenly, it's all about heavy anxiety over the future, financial stress, exam pressure, and honestly, the dangerous allure of fast money.
But let's zoom in on that middle group for a second. The data firmly points out that the 12 to 15 age bracket is literally the absolute highest risk stage for social and psychological issues. This is the danger zone. It's the period of intense vulnerability where stepping in is just absolutely critical.
During these crucial middle years, teenagers are falling into very specific modern traps. We're talking about short-form TikTok thinking that completely shatters attention spans, severe cyberbullying, and this profound sense of digital loneliness. And because they're desperately searching for an identity, they become highly susceptible to radical ideologies, online gambling, and that incredibly destructive obsession with making fast cash.
Which brings us to Section 3, digital and family impact.
If we want to understand the triggers behind these crises, well, here's a massive wake-up call straight from the text. A huge systemic issue is parents unintentionally becoming anti-role models. When we don't limit our own screen time and just sit there absorbed in our gadgets, we're literally normalizing digital addiction for them. We undercut our own authority and completely disconnect from our kids in the real world.
On top of that, the program highlights a very specific regional challenge, which is parental labor migration. When parents have to leave to work abroad, it creates this massive vacuum of control and affection back home. The kids feel abandoned, which often triggers deep depressive states and makes them incredibly vulnerable to bad influences, both online and off.
But it's not just screens and distance. Other major triggers include open family conflicts that traumatize kids, a total lack of digital media literacy, and unmonitored access to violent or inappropriate content. And honestly, this one surprised me. The program also calls out poor diets, like excessive fast food and energy drinks, as direct contributors to psychological instability. It really is the whole shebang.
Okay, let's look at Section 4, the monitoring system.
To actually track these complex threats, they've set up a remarkably comprehensive, data-driven framework. They aren't just guessing here. They are measuring specific metrics, everything from the exact daily hours spent on TikTok to standardized psychological tests for stress and loneliness. They're tracking class attendance and reading levels, and get this, they're even measuring the actual time kids spent communicating face-to-face with their parents.
Now for Section 5, actionable solutions.
So we have the diagnosis. How do we fix it? To fight digital addiction, the program lays out some strict, actionable steps. We're talking restricting recreational screen time to just 1 to 1.5 hours a day. It pushes hard for mandatory phone-free family meals to force that offline connection. It also emphasizes getting kids into offline extracurriculars, while demanding that parents finally step up and install digital parental controls on home devices.
And for that super vulnerable group, the children of migrant workers, the strategy is actually really proactive. It starts with identifying and registering them, but then it goes a step further by assigning modern, relatable young mentors from the local community to guide them. Plus, they're setting up anonymous psychological support groups so these teens have a safe space to talk about their isolation without any fear of judgment.
Shifting gears to immediate physical dangers, the policy is just as strict. To stop underage driving accidents, it strengthens parental legal responsibility for vehicle keys and integrates raw, real-world traffic safety seminars right into schools. It even mandates auditing school cafeterias to promote healthy eating over constant junk food.
Finally, Section 6, Expected Results.
The absolute crown jewel of this entire 5-year plan is the creation of a unified social risk map and rating system for every district and neighborhood. Think about that for a second. By 2030, authorities and community leaders will have a dynamic map to pinpoint exact threats locally. So, if a specific neighborhood shows a sudden spike in cyberbullying or online gambling, they can step in and neutralize that threat before it spreads like wildfire.
The Circundaria program gives us a fantastic roadmap. The safety net is there, the data is clear, and the solutions are totally actionable. But here's the real question. Are we, as a community, actually ready to log off, put our own phones down, and genuinely reconnect with our children? Because at the end of the day, prevention really does start at home. Thanks so much for joining this explainer. I really hope it gave you something to think about.